So I wanted to explain and to talk a little bit about my experience with this project. So what do you need and what do you gain when you do a project like this? I'll give you some insights, practical tips, and honest stories. So what do you need to start with a project like this? Well, a lot of gear, and not only the VR goggles, but also a very heavy and good computer that can run this kind of virtual worlds. Maybe a microphone, more on that later. And you need it times 10, because not only the students need this, also we as coaches and Joris as the client, we needed to have a full set as well at home. Luckily, the director of HKU Games and Interaction, Victor Wijnen, he also saw the importance to try this out and gave us the trust and go ahead to do this. So what else do you need when you start a project like this? Here you see a video of my first try.
Yeah, I don't know.
So this was the initial setup at my place. I need a lot of time and patience, which are not my strong suits. In the beginning of the project, I couldn't get the mic on my goggles to work in Niels. And now that we're almost at the end of the project, it still doesn't work. We've tried everything and it's a mystery. I don't know why it doesn't work. Second one, let go of your ego. How do you come across? Do you come across differently and do you behave differently? Looking like a giant pink cartoon animal. And after one session in VR, my face would look like this for the entire day. So that was nice. We had Corona, I didn't have to go out. But you also learn a lot as you go. And I was definitely not the fastest learner. It became quickly sort of a running gag that I would be stuck somewhere again, or, oh, Lotte is falling off this bridge, or we have to wait for her. Oh, it's like this walking disaster sometimes. And you're learning together as you go with the students, but they learn way faster. So I think you really need to be open and stay curious to new experiences because suddenly you are not in the role of an expert. And that can be quite challenging as a teacher. So the students quickly knew more than I did. And I think that was great. Yeah, so we talk about embodied learning, but what about embodied teaching? So you are present with your body in VR. And especially at times where I couldn't make myself heard because the mic wasn't working. It was interesting. So how could I interact and make contact with the students? I started to try and act out to make contact. So here I'm warming my hands on a fireplace the students built. And you try to provoke some reactions by behaving unexpectedly. And because I was moving around all the time, I felt more present with the students and with my body in this world. And also, for example, experiencing their artwork, it was a very different experience because you can literally experience everything they make. You can move around in it, you can take it apart, and it's very nice opportunities for some dark play. There was one student that made this beautiful house and he said as we entered, don't go through the walls. But in Niels you can, so everyone went straight through the walls, of course. So it's excellent opportunities for dark play and to try things out. And you get a different relation to what the students create. And suddenly you are an expert simply because you're the user of the player and therefore you're an important voice to what they make and how you experience it. What I also experienced is I find it difficult to teach or present, for example, like I'm doing now, and sit still behind the laptop. I like to move around, use my hands and my body. And in VR, I felt way more free. And I was way less tired as well. After a session of 2 hours, I was really way less tired than when I would come out of a video call.
Yeah, Joris, you did it, man.
Yeah.
You did it. Yeah, good. I'm so happy that you experienced the magic of theater, where nothing works 10 minutes before you start, and then that's theater for you. Yeah,
We've had my VR headset plugged in all day to work, and it worked perfectly. And the minute we started, it crashed.
Yeah. Oh, good. But you all kept at it, and I'm super happy. So when you see everybody, just give them a warm applause from me as well. I'm super excited about what you accomplished in just 3 weeks. That's amazing, and I'm
Yeah, here you see me also clapping and doing thumbs up like a maniac, because in this case they also couldn't hear me. But expect that everything will go wrong and you're fine. The feeling of being together as a group, yeah, that was so great. We could go on excursions together. So here we went to the Museum of Other Realities that Joris took us right before Christmas. We went one evening, everyone together. And yeah, lastly, the fun we had, which is especially in these difficult times, it was really a privilege. The students also felt like they were so lucky to not sit at home alone behind the screen all day, but they really felt connected to each other and also to us as coaches of the project. So yeah, for me, this was definitely, it was a great project to work on, and it deserves way more research and exploration, and definitely a follow-up. So if you'd like to know more or you have any questions, feel free to contact me.